Like the written records and mainstream Egypt, or the carbon dating, all go together. First dynasty, second dynasty, but in the third dynasty they start to diverge, and by the end of the fifth dynasty they're back together again. But there's like a 300 to 400 year gap on some tests, and all through the fourth dynasty, which is when the Sphinx was said to have been built, which is when the three big pyramids were said to have been built, like the best time in ancient Egyptian history, according to the mainstream timeline. So when they test that, and these are a few hundred years older than they should be, they don't look at maybe there's a missing dynasty there, which is what I think.
Oh,
Maybe yeah, there's one of the kings, the King Sneferu. He built three pyramids, according to history. I think he stole the credit for those other two.
Tinfoil hat. Oh, what are you guys even talking about?
Global controls will have to be imposed, and a world governing body will be created to enforce them.
Welcome to Tinfoil Hat. We go deep, homeboy. Aaron, open your mind. Drink from the fountain of knowledge. There's lizard people everywhere. That's some interdimensional shit. Wake up, Aaron.
This is only the beginning.
Dude, you just blew my mind.
Are you ready to get your mind blown?
Revolution will be podcasted.
all right. Welcome to Tinfoil Hat live from the Wise Wolf Gold and Silver Studios. That's right. Wolfpack Gold. I'm part of that program. Listen, you too can get precious metals sent to your house for as little as $50 a month. All you have to do is join the Wolfpack program and you can make it happen. I do it. You should try it too. Very excited to have our next guest on. He's an alternative researcher. I'm excited to dive into that. Very honored to have him on. Please welcome Dedunking Dan Richards. How are you, buddy?
Doing good. Thanks for having me on, Sam. I really appreciate it. It's good to finally meet you.
It's an honor and a privilege, buddy. For those who may not be familiar with you, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and where our listeners can find you?
You can find me on YouTube mostly at just Dedunking. It's debunking, but with two Ds, like your ex, but you can find me on Twitter and Instagram. But mostly what I do is I do YouTube videos for the most part, and I shit post. But a lot of what I do is the typical alternate researcher stuff. You know, I look into my theories on pyramids and stuff, or the Baghdad battery. I recently had, in my opinion, a pretty good idea about that. And then a lot of what I do as well is go after the scientists that were the debunkers that use straw mans or erroneous information, or they just dial it in and treat Atlantis like it's a flat Earth for just content farm. And so, yeah, I kind of have two hats that I wear in those regards.
Okay, so you're a debunker of the debunkers.
I
like that a lot. I like that a lot. Yeah, it's very interesting how there's just people making their names off of debunking conspiracies, while conspiracies constantly get proven true over and over again. And it just, to me, and I've said this, I'd love to hear your opinion on it, Dan. I would rather live in a super paranoid population that can get occasionally some details wrong than live in an obedient sheep colony who just believes everything authority and the mainstream media tells you. So that's my opinion. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, absolutely, I would agree with that, and for the same reason that I agree with like the limitations on government that we have. Even if you love the people that are in power now, you're not going to love the next people that are in there. You don't want to have a standard set up of where we just obediently follow, because as soon as you do that, what as Carl Sagan said, if you're not allowed to question those that are in authority, you're up for grabs.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, Carl Sagan was a fucking genius in my opinion. Excuse my French. But
You
that
can
man
swear.
was
We love it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, his like one of my favorite quotes of all time is science is more than a body of knowledge. It's a way of thinking, a way of skeptically interrogating the universe with a fine understanding of human fallibility. And that's what he carries that on and says, and if we can't be skeptical of those in authority, if we can't look in under the hood, basically, then we're up for grabs. And that's, man, I think I was way ahead of his time.
I wish we would have had Carl Sagan during COVID. when people are like, I trust the science. Fauci's like, I'm science. Don't question me. All the ridiculous bumper sticker propaganda that people just bought in hook, line, and sinker. And it's just, what's it, K Bono? Who benefits? Like, who benefits? Like, if Fauci's like, you got to take this, it's good, it's going to keep 100% success rate. And then you got just a doctor with a small YouTube channel going, I don't think he's being honest with you. You're like, who benefits? Like, the YouTuber, okay, maybe they get a couple more subscribers. Fauci gets millions and billions of dollars. Like, who benefits from this? It's so crazy to me how people just appeal to authority. It's like, it's mind blowing. Yeah, everything else in life is all about like, fight the man. Don't accept it. You know, we just had a fucking No Kings rally ran by the people who told us if you didn't get the vaccine, you should be excommunicated from society. Like, just think about the mental gymnastics going on right now with that.
Oh yeah, there is no, there's not much in the way of standards right now as far as things go. It's frustrating. Like one of the best examples of this, in my opinion, is just on a microcosm level, is when Elon bought Twitter. And all the lefties, 2 days before that were like, you know what, man, get kicked off of the internet it's not free speech, man. It's not your platform. It's not the government's platform. And all the right wingers were like, man, it's bullshit getting banned for free speech. And then Elon buys it, and 2 days later, it's the right wingers going, it's not a free speech platform, man. It's not a government thing. And it's the left wingers going, oh, I hate getting banned for free speech. This is bullshit. It's like flip flop. What it really comes down to is this kind of cult of personality or cult of idealism. And that is where I think Sagan would be great. One of the things that I love about him as well. You've seen the movie Contact, I assume?
Yes.
Yeah.
The end of that movie, she has an unverifiable experience. He's an atheist. He's a pragmatist. He's an empiricist. And at the end of the movie, she's got some static to show you, but did you either accept what I had or jump in the fucking thing yourself and fall down in the ocean and go talk to your dad? It's very not scientific.
No, I agree with you. I totally agree with you. And it's so interesting the way everybody just take a look at like COVID versus the ICE discussion, right? Like the left was like, you got to wear a mask. And the right was like, I don't want to wear a mask. And now with ICE, it's like, the left is like, don't wear a mask. And then the right is like, let them wear a mask. And it's just like the mental gymnastics that's involved with that is insanity. And people just can't sense when they're being hypocritical.
No, it's absolutely not. I mean, one of the best examples of that you could really get somebody to see it for themselves is, do you think people should speed when they drive? Well, how about you? Do you speed when you drive?
I do all the time. It's my
fucking everybody does. 5 miles over won't even get you pulled over in most situations. Right?
Yeah, but I don't know where you live, but California's just going to start. LA's just putting up all these speeding cameras now.
To be fair, though, they don't get you till you're 11 over. But yeah, they're going to put up like 150 speeding cameras.
Wow.
Yeah,
here in Washington, they did a bunch of Freedom of Information Acts on those. There's a dude that had one that's like pointing at his house, and he'd fought it to begin with, and they wouldn't take it down. So he did Freedom of Information Act after Freedom of Information Act. It got like all this data. They made him pay for it, but he got like all this data, and all of a sudden they're shutting down cameras in places because it's now it's a privacy concern.
Does the camera take a picture of your car or you inside the car?
It takes a picture of you, your license plate, you in the car, and your license plate.
So I don't remember if this case was real, but I remember reading it where this guy was in Orange County. He was with his mistress. He got caught up in one of those cameras. They sent the picture to his house. He got divorced, and he ended up suing the city and won because they literally burned him out. That's what I'm asking you. I don't know if you can
take get stitches.
Yeah, I don't know if you can take a picture of the actual person of who's driving it, but I mean,
well, that's how they get you.
Yeah,
they go. That's you in the picture.
Yeah, if they don't have you in the picture, you can just say that wasn't me driving, and they really don't have a leg to stand on.
They don't have a leg to stand on because technically you're supposed to have a cop there arresting you. You're not supposed to be picking them off. That's a basic thing. I mean, dude, they just want nobody to live in California. They just want
No,
for the
I sent you.
rich.
Did you see that story I sent you? That LA County is I think had as far as trends are concerned over the past, I think it was 5 years, the most by percentage people leave
100%.
than any other place. Yeah.
And that's the thing that people don't understand. It's like in LA, it's like it sucks. Like Spencer Pratt said, people who move here are like, LA, we're living life. Like, you don't even know what you got. But that's a different story.
Largest population decline in the U.S., LA County.
Yeah.
I wouldn't doubt it, dude. It sucks. It's just I have people like, I miss LA. You go, the LA you miss isn't here anymore. So you're not missing anything.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of it was based on Beverly Hills and the film and music industry, and it's like that's dead. Here we are doing the film industry, quote unquote, or whatever.
No, you're right.
From my basement in your studio, so it's the ball has been kicked. You don't have to go out kick it on Sunset Strip for 20 years to become the next Poison. You just make a TikTok and.
No, I'm with you on that.
You're a Fortnite character.
I also believe that, and then I want to get into what you want to talk about, that the industry heads know that the mechanism of Hollywood is wrought with woke, and they have to get rid of all the woke to get back to like making art for people. And the only way to do that, because the executive branch knows it sucks, that like nobody wants to watch woke. The audience doesn't want to watch woke, but the whole middle has been nothing but conformity to woke. Because
people with Bachelor of Arts degrees, mostly,
that just fill up the gopher at the who's running around getting everybody their coffees all the way up into the directors are so woke now that they just got to get rid of them and restart over. I think there'll always be a need for a California. It'll be decentralized, but there'll be one place where everybody wants to go. They just have to completely rebuild it, dude, and get rid of this dead weight in the middle. But enough of that. You're here. I'm very excited to talk to you. Big announcements coming up. We believe that they found a second sphinx. And that's a big deal because of like some trajectory or something like that we talked about in Conspiracy Social Club that's supposed to lead to the library of something. I don't know, but I'm excited to talk to you, Dedunking Dan. Tell me where you want to start with this.
Well, really quickly, if I may, I should plug the Quest for Ancient Civilizations conference on May 1st through 3rd in Sedona, Arizona, from World Z Media. Sorry, I'm going to be there speaking. It's going to be a big event. There's going to be a bunch of other people like myself there, and I'll be talking about a bunch of this kind of crap. Having got that out of the way, sorry, Robert, I had to do it. Don't yell at me.
No, hold on. What's the conference called?
It's the Quest for Ancient Civilizations.
Oh, I like that.
There's a bunch of people that are going to be there that are the lineup's changed a little bit. I think we added a couple of people recently. I'm not on the back end of it, but I am one of the people that yells a lot. Mike from Wandering Wolf, if you guys know Mike Collins from the Wandering Wolf Productions, he's one of the people that's involved. But yeah, it's gonna be great. 3 days of talking and then like 5 days of drinking. So
awesome, dude. Are you gonna get that 5 days done in 3 days of drinking?
I can do that in one night. At least I could in my 20s.
Yeah.
The beer goggles nowadays don't look at women; they look at myself, and they're like, "Man, look how tough I am."
So we have this big announcement. I mean, the pyramids and the Sphinx. There's so much new information coming out that it's way more interesting than we think. Now we believe there's another Sphinx. What are your thoughts on all that? Where do you want to start?
Well, let's start with the synthetic aperture radar stuff that the Coffre scan team's using. That's where we're getting all these rainbow colored scans that we see of the tunnels under the pyramids and the maze under Hawara, and in this case, the second Sphinx and the stuff underneath it. Now, this is proprietary software that they're using to interpret data that's gathered from satellites. Now, you'll get a lot of skeptics of that stuff saying that synthetic aperture radar can't do what they're claiming that it does here. But synthetic aperture radar has been, computers have consistently increased the fidelity of the same satellite scans for the last 40 years. So when they start using AI on it, it's like, well, you kind of got to give them some leeway. However, it is proprietary, so it is a very much trust me, bro scenario.
Oh, snaps.
So you got both sides of it, right? The technology has been advanced, and it does make sense that it would take this next step. But at the same time, they're trying to sell it, they're trying to market it, so they can't just give it away, which I get. Having said that, the mound of dirt where they're talking about that second Sphinx being located wasn't there in the 1920s. We have photographs of that same area from the sky in 1920, and that mound of dirt wasn't there. So it looks like it's like backfill or something from like another site, like they were digging and just dumped the dirt there, as opposed to covering a second Sphinx.
Whoa, that's interesting.
Yeah, shout out to Matt Simpson from Ancient Architects. He's the guy who I first saw bringing that point up.
So 20 years ago, did you say the dirt wasn't there, or what?
No, it's 100 years ago.
100 years ago, the dirt wasn't there, and now there's dirt.
When was the first time they noticed it was there? It must have been like a picture, right, where someone was like, "Oh shit!" All of a sudden, there's dirt.
Yeah, this just recently, as far as I'm aware, this is the first I'd ever heard of that mound of dirt being looked at as anything. So as far as I'm aware,
interesting.
Now, there's a few things worth noting. Is the second Sphinx is an idea that a lot of alternate historians bring up because, like, the dream stela that's in front of the Sphinx has two sphinxes, with their backs to each other. This artwork, you see a lot of two sphinxes that are both facing opposite directions. People have been looking for the second Sphinx for a long time, but I'm kind of of the opinion that it's Leo, that the second Sphinx that they're depicting is in the sky. So looking around the ground, in my opinion, is.
Why do you think that?
Well, yeah, thanks. Well, first of all, Leo, if like Graham Hancock and Robert Bauval put out a book, 30 years ago now, talking about the Orion-Giza correlation and the three pyramids on the Giza Plateau being a representation of Orion's belt in the sky. And with that, part of it was the Sphinx faces due east. 10,500 years ago, Leo would have been housing the rising sun on the vernal equinox, which is when they measure like the start of the age, like the age of Aquarius, for example. So they think that's one reason, and that you would potentially be the second Sphinx. And another reason is even during the Fourth Dynasty, when during the summer Nile floods, the Sphinx would basically every night traverse the sky from one side to the other, kind of like the sun does. And because of that, and not the Sphinx, excuse me, Leo, but in my opinion, it's like one's the sky, one's the ground, one is like, there's a lot of thought that goes into that. The Sphinx's name is like the guardian of the horizon. It guards the entrance to the underworld, which is also located in the sky and under the ground. It's very much, if you've ever heard the saying, as above, so below. It's very much in line with that, in my opinion.
Dude, it's so crazy. But let's just for a second go, they did discover it. Let's just say that there was a discovery of a second Sphinx. What do you think that means? Why is everybody so excited about it?
Well, it's for one, it would change the way that we look at Egyptian iconography. Like compare it to like the Christian cross. Imagine people 10,000 years from now interpreting it as a symbol of execution and then realizing that it wasn't used in that manner when it was hung around the neck of a Christian. But if you were in ancient Rome, you see what I mean? Like it's finding a second Sphinx, all that shit that I was just talking about, flying through the sky with stars and all that. Well, it kind of would kick the tires on that idea a little bit. So it's anytime we get new stuff like that, it allows us to interpret all that crap in a different light.
And that is the big problem with archaeology right now, right? Is that the old guard doesn't want to give up their position on things because then their research would be null and void.
That's exactly it. When I was on stage in Sedona, Arizona about a year ago with Graham Hancock, he said, he asked me why I thought they were that way. And I said, to me, it seems like Graham Hancock's he's wrote a fiction about our past. The archaeologists have also wrote a fiction about our past. We all know nobody knows for sure. But Graham's got the wrong letters next to his name, and damn it if his books don't sell better. And this is bullshit as far as they're concerned. So, Gets it right in the feels.
Yeah,
what is
I respect that. Welcome to stand-up comedy. You're like, that guy's dog shit, and he just sold out a Grand Canyon. You know what I'm saying?
What does the old guard think about the new Sphinx? Do they even acknowledge it might be there? They're like, no, that's just a bunch of dirt. Is there any?
Oh, they excuse me. The mainstream has rejected the idea of a second Sphinx for a very long time. They point to there was like this old mud brick Sphinx that was built that was supposedly around back then, but it was like a real dilapidated state, and it wasn't. It was clearly like a scaled down version, probably like a. In my mind, I think of like the Statue of Liberty and the like Better Call Saul's little inflatable Statue of Liberty. It's a pretty scaled down version of the original Sphinx, but they always kind of like, oh, that's the second Sphinx that everybody's talking about, and push it to that. I mean, it's been lost for thousands of years, but again, to me, it seems like there's way too much iconography that shows the two sphinxes together. It's always little subtle things too. Like if you look at the way that Thutmose on the Dream Stela, he's attending to the sphinx on both sides, and his hands are in slightly different ways. His hat's in a different thing because one's upper and one's lower Egypt. Egypt and duality were like all intertwined, and so. If it's possible that we could find another Sphinx that would be in what they would call Upper Egypt, which is just more south. But I doubt it. In all honesty, I think that pretty much everything got boiled down to that small little area when the Green Sahara went away. I feel like there was like a lot more going on in Africa, and that it all just kind of ended up in this little area where you had the delta and some good farmland still.
So, do you think at some point Egypt was like tropical?
Well, there's the Green Saharas. This is pretty well known and documented in mainstream science. Like the Sahara, I think it's a 30,000 year cycle. I want to say that it goes through being like a lush tropical region and then a desert, and so like that's the big argument. Geologist Robert Schoch, when he talks about the aging of the Sphinx, and you probably have heard that people talk about water erosion on it, and that's where the aging of the Sphinx argument comes into play. Is there was not sufficient water, according to him, there wasn't sufficient rainfall until you go back to the Green Sahara period.
So that means it's way older.
Yeah, well, according to him, this argument. These things are argued so heavily. It's one of the things that's really funny, actually. If you look at ancient Egypt, man, these guys will dig in and fight everything tooth and nail so hard and bend over backwards and kind of bullshit their way through stuff in order to maintain a narrative. I could give you an example if you got a few minutes.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. The radiocarbon dating has been done on the Giza Plateau. And what they do is they obviously can't date stone, but they peel the ash out of the mortar and they date that. So they got some organic material. And so the first time this was done was in the 80s by the Edgar Cayce Foundation's team, looking for that 10,000, 12,000-year-old date. And then this was done again by the David Koch Foundation about 10 years later. And again, wanting some old goofy dates. When they were done, there's kind of a bubble. It's like the written records and mainstream Egypt, the carbon dating, all go together, first dynasty, second dynasty. But in the third dynasty, they start to diverge. And by the end of the fifth dynasty, they're back together again. But there's like a 300 to 400 year gap on some tests. And all through the fourth dynasty, which is when the Sphinx was said to have been built, which is when the three big pyramids were said to have been built, like the best time in ancient Egyptian history, according to the mainstream timeline. So when they test that, and these are a few hundred years older than they should be, they don't look at maybe there's a missing dynasty there, which is what I think. Maybe there's one of the kings, the King Sneferu. He built three pyramids, according to history. I think he stole the credit for those other two. That seems to me like pretty obvious.
That seems to be consistent history, right? Like it's there. They move in. They're like, we built this. I always say it's the joke about the bears and houses in Detroit where they're abandoned and they just move in. They're like, this is my cave. And you're like, well, you didn't build that, but you own it now. And that's what they did in Latin America and all that stuff. They were already there and they tried to figure out what they were for. And, so it makes sense.
No, it absolutely does. We know about King Tut. We got his stuff because he'd been erased from history, so nobody was looting his grave. He'd been erased from Egyptian history. So anyway, they did the carbon dating, and they get these dates that are off. And so rather than entertain any of these other ideas, they keep bending over backwards trying to find ways to get rid of it. And one of them they use, which is a Bayesian modeling, which is a mathematical formula. It's a way that they basically test something in a perfect world over and over and over again. They keep running this formula over and over and adding new information, and it's to refine things.
Yes.
But in this case, they eliminated the dates. They say right in the paper, we favored the dates that were the newer, and we eliminated dates that didn't correspond with known Pharaoh rules. So it's like, I mean, it's like if we got, I can't believe they do this shit and call it science. And then these guys, they peer review it and they hold it up. It's like, I worked as an electrician and these guys will tell me you were never a scientist. It's like, bitch, you guys could believe in Harry fucking Potter and you'd peer review it back and forth. The universe tested me. I got something wrong. I was told by God, you got this wrong, bitch. Not you archaeologists. You just, Voldemort did this. Yeah, good paper.
No, you're totally right. And we see it in other aspects, and I don't want to go into any parts of conspiracy you might not be into, but we see this all the time where it's like, it's not they want to get the correct results. They want to get the results they think are correct.
Yep. Yeah, I don't have a problem talking about pretty much anything. I mean, my opinions are my opinions. I always end up pissing people off right off the bat because
It's fun.
Fuck the two-party system, man. My opinion on abortion has all to do with my opinion on the border, has all to do with my opinion on guns, has all to do with my opinion on the economy. And why I should tie them all together behind an elephant or a donkey is beyond me.
So I'm with you on that. It's just again, it's like egos are not their amigos, and they're in a position of power, and the way to maintain that position of power, and that position of power comes with a lot of money, and to maintain that cash flow is to be seen as the expert. And, they need the expert. And it's like this old saying we've said here, it's more important to do right than be right. But that's not modern society. More people want to be right, so they make more money, and they're willing to f everything up as people on the fringes work for the truth, and they just don't care. It doesn't matter because their pension and everything. And I get that to a point, but it's like, I don't understand. Like, if you go, hey man, we got new data, let's take a look at this, why that makes you less valuable. I think you're the one allowing them to look at this stuff.
You would think we're also their target audience.
Guys, we are in a spiritual war against the demonic entities, and one way to do it is to sauce it up, okay? I'm talking rock hard boners, banging chicks, getting everybody pregnant, bringing more Christian warriors into the world, okay? And there's one company that's fighting their ass off to help humanity, and that's our good friends at Blue Chew with their new powerful weapon for humanity called Blue Chew Gold. That's right. Let me tell you about Blue Chew Gold. Scientists working hard in the lab to bring the most powerful ED medication of all time. We're talking like things that get rock hard. We're talking Godzilla dicks here, okay? Big, angry, full of veins. She's going to have to take the Waze app to find your nuts. That's how powerful it's going to be. You want it, dude? Are you tired of tiny dicks? Get Blue Chew Gold and just have Godzilla dicks, okay? Angry thing, wreck her shit. That's what we're talking about. Make her know who's the man of the house. That's right. That's right. Blue Chew Gold wants you to be the man, okay? Tired of it. Tired of people guessing how manly you are. Tired of hearing the word cuck? Yeah, that's right. Blue Chew Gold says, set that cuck chair on fire and just drop dick on her ass like a grown ass man. So here's what we need you to do, okay? Does anyone know what I'm talking about here?
We all know what you're talking about.
Take back that ass. That's what we're going to do, okay? Don't let your mind get in the way of a good time. Discover options at Blue Chew Gold, okay? And we got a special deal for our listeners. Right now, when you buy guys, this is insanity right here, okay? Right now, when you buy 2 months of Blue Chew Gold, you get a third for free. Those are free boners, okay? That's unlimited free boners, dude. Just pop one in and you're going to be rock hard. Just walk around the neighborhood. Let your friends know that your lady gets it good, okay? Maybe there's some lonely ladies on your block. Let them know you're a pirate, okay? With a pirate of dick gold down there, okay? That's what you got to do. So this is what we need you to do. You'll get a third month free with the promo code tinfoil. That's promo code tinfoil. Visit bluechew.com for more details and important safety information. And we thank Blue Chew Gold and Blue Chew for saving America, okay? We thank you for saving America, and we thank you for sponsoring this podcast. Guys, I'm begging you. I'm begging you. I'm telling you, fiat money is about to crash and burn. You got to get your cash into precious metals. Do it now, okay? Get into gold, get into silver, store your cash, okay? And there's no better place to go than our good friends at Wolfpack Gold. That's right. Wise Wolf Gold and Silver. Let me tell you about them. If you're paying attention, you know that de-dollarization is real. Fiat is fake, and you don't want to be left holding the bag when the dollar collapses. Gold and silver has been money through all of recorded history and are an excellent way to protect yourself from inflation and geopolitical turmoil. That's why I trust my friends at Wise Wolf Gold and Silver for all things precious metal. Veteran-owned and an A+ rating by the Better Business Bureau. No transaction is too big or too small, and you can even roll over your 401k or IRA into physical gold and silver. And if you think you can't afford precious metals, think again. With the Wolfpack monthly membership program, you can get gold and silver delivered directly to your door for as little as $50 a month. Wise Wolf Gold and Silver also deals in and accepts Bitcoin. So go to samtripoli.gold, promo code tinfoil at checkout to receive free constitutional silver. And remember, in the world of bulls and bears, be the wolf.
Atlantis is the number one, like, archaeologically motivated thing or whatever that's attached to archaeology. It's like the number one selling book thing and video thing. It's way more interesting than most of that other stuff. And so, and if you talk to a lot of these debunker scientists, this is what got them in. Writing papers when they were in high school and junior high about Atlantis, and that got them into archaeology. I mean, Mark Leonard, the famous Egyptologist, he was put through school by the Edgar Cayce Foundation.
Oh, man.
Zahi Hawass, put through school partially by the Edgar Cayce. He still speaks sometimes for the Edgar Cayce Foundation. I mean, this shit's all been in bed with each other for a long time. And I just told you about the carbon dating thing. That was the money and the scientists working together. We've lost that. The social media era has just kind of erased all of that away. And now you're either the smart people or the tinfoil nutters. And they're all there is to it.
We're nutters. We love it. You know?
Hell yeah, dude. Think about this. If you drive this to the nth degree, would you rather be human, like you say, and wrong part of the time, or would you be right all the time? And like an AI that has no emotion and is the horrific thing that we have nightmares about and they make horror films about. I mean, the emotion, that fallibility, that illogical. I kind of like Max Headroom. I don't know why. I just like him. That illogical thing is what makes us human.
And Johnny talks about it all this time. Is like how Johnny catches AI getting it wrong all the time. Yeah. And I catch it all the time, especially when it comes to my basketball team, the Clippers. Yeah. I'm always like, what are the top 5 teams? And they never name the Clippers. I go, but what's the Clippers record? I go, how come it's not in there? Like, oh, my bad. I should have included it every time.
But I saw one the other day with Andrew Jones. It was like, Andrew Jones has never had a home run off of Mariano Rivera. And Andrew Jones was like pissed. He's like, here's the video right here. It's on YouTube. I mean, it's just... Yeah, and people assume it's infallible.
It's crazy how we automatically give it authority.
Because it's computer.
And part of that is the constant propaganda of this is godlike.
Yeah.
Well, we just saw on the I don't know what episode it was, but they had the president with Melania with that robot. Yeah, they're trying to show that it's God, that it's higher than everybody else.
Yeah,
they're using facial ID to arrest people now. They're using facial ID as probable cause to arrest people who have been trespassed from places. And
They pulled that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, go ahead. Yeah, that was done.
No, they pulled that chick from Tennessee all the way up to Fargo,
yes,
North Dakota,
yes.
over exactly that.
Crazy. Yeah, have you heard that story?
Yeah. She's like, I've never been to North Dakota.
And they took her there, and she couldn't get out of jail for, what was it, months, right?
Yeah, it was. She didn't. I don't know if they actually got her there. She battled extradition.
No, she did end up there. Yes,
okay,
she did.
Yeah, she battled extradition, and that's what ended up making it take months. It was like 6 months. Because extradition, like when you're fighting extradition, the deal is you don't get to just you don't get to fight probable cause or any of that stuff. It's are you the person or not? Probable cause, all that shit happens in another state.
Police used AI facial recognition to arrest a Tennessee woman for crimes committed in a state she's never visited. A Tennessee grandmother spent more than 5 months in jail after police used an AI facial recognition tool to link her to crimes committed in North Dakota, a place she's never been. Police in Fargo have acknowledged, quote, a few errors in the case and pledged to change their operations, but stopped short of issuing an apology. She has a GoFundMe.
I will be suing.
A warrant had been issued for her arrest over 1,000 miles away. She had to use bank records to get herself out, and I heard her attorney interviewed saying that they gave it no special priority. They were in no hurry to get her released. And then the attorney said they just dumped her on the street in Fargo, 1,000 miles from home, and she had to get sorted out, like how to get home.
I mean, dude, lawyer up, bro. Lawyer up. That's going to be the fattest check. Now, listen.
Man. Yeah, she spent 3 months in Tennessee jail, then was extradited to Fargo, and then in October, I guess she got out or whatever. But yeah, it's.
Dude, I would go hard 100 mil. They'll settle for 20 mil. You know what I'm saying? Just go hard in the paint on that, dude. Yeah,
I'd sue that for the fucking. I want the brand of Fargo, North Dakota now, bitch. I want those royalties.
Yeah, I want a new state, Sam Tripoliville.
Yeah, I got a key to this bitch.
Yeah, dude, let me run this shit. Yeah, it's one of my favorite subjects is hidden history. I think it's so interesting, and you brought up all of these organizations that are basically funding a particular view of things. It reminds me going back to COVID. If you were pro COVID, pro vaccine, you got pushed to the front of everything. If you gave people vaccine, you got like $1,500 a shot. It was like some crazy number, dude.
You must feel really stupid if you did it for a hot dog or whatever they were doing in Jersey.
Or do it like in New York, free French fries. Yeah. I mean, imagine do that for free French fries.
Krispy Kreme donut.
You should not be allowed to vote after that. Be like, okay, here's your shot, and don't ever go near a voting booth ever. Even though we don't believe in voting here, but and what its real results. But here we are. We have the powers that be. Controlling the knowledge and the message, and like I feel like, and this is not, I don't know where you are spiritually, and if this isn't your thing, I'm fine with that as well. But it's just like it's like this seems to be, regardless of what word you want to use, whether it's God or the universe, this like detaching from that to make us all think we're just, as Bill Hicks would call us, viruses and sneakers. Like that's what they want us to believe. There's nothing divine about us and everything. We're just monkeys in shoes. And when in reality, and I'd love to hear your opinion on this, that I think where we live is way more interesting, way more special. Our timeline is probably insanely long. Much longer than anyone want to believe. I mean, like you got the people who think, dinosaurs were around 100 million years ago. And then you have people who think the planet's been around 5,000 years. And, I don't know what the answer to that is. But like these timelines, like is definitely not what they're telling us, right? Would you agree with that?
I'd agree the timelines are definitely off. They know it at places, or at the very least, they know that things are anomalous compared to what they're saying. There's cover-ups involved that get to the point where it gets absurd. Like we're talking about not being able to use things with AI and it being stupid. There's certain situations where you can, like the island of Nui. You've seen the elongated skulls from Paracas, Peru. I
Yes.
see. Okay,
Yes.
this practice of now, some of these may well be natural, and that's not really like in my where I really look at this is the best ones, the best specimens are missing. The best specimens are long gone. They're hiding the best specimens from us. A great example is Nelson Rockefeller bought 4 skulls in 1930s from Paracas for 40 grand. He's displayed them in the Met in the National History Museum. They were sent back to Peru apparently, and the Peruvian government doesn't know which 4 they are. There's no photographs that exist of these. There's no photographs of them being displayed in the Met or in the National History Museum. This is bullshit. The best 4 that he cherry picked, those are the ones that are most likely to be natural, right? So they ended up lost to history. They're probably still in New York. I don't think they repatriated shit. I think that he sold them to another collector. But the island of Nui, which is over there by New Zealand, it has one of the skulls on the record is 96% as wide as it is tall. So that's like some Stewie Griffin looking shit, right? And artificially modified, supposedly, like the parents are said to have done it, but we can't find that skull. No pictures of it exist. And if you go look if you ask AI, but you ask Gemini, it'll tell you that there's never any modified skulls found on the island of Nui. And if you look at a map from the 30s of cranial modification distributed around the world, and then you look at a map from about 10 years ago of the same thing, and you'll find that Hawaii's been removed from the modern map. The American Midwest has been drastically shrunk down in the modern map. They are silently massaging this away.
Hold on. What did you say about Hawaii?
Hawaii used to practice cranial modification. It was 8.9% of the ancient Hawaiian skulls that were evaluated. I think it was like 85. 8.9% of them showed signs of being modified by their moms or dads. Where what they would do there is they'd carve a piece of coconut husk, line it with some grass and leaves, and then put the kid's head in there.
No, in modern day, that happens now too, because they've told moms to make your kids sleep on their backs because of SIDS. You're seeing kids with flat back heads. So now they're putting them in helmets, which both my daughters have. One had it much longer than the other. And they put it in the
my nephew had one too.
Yeah, and that's to round their head out.
Is that from laying them too much, or you're supposed to carry your kid? You're supposed to carry your kid.
I don't know what it was before that, but
a lot of people just always throughout history have had like what would you say, not symmetrical head skulls because of just what happens as a kid.
How you sleep is how your skull goes.
They put those helmets on kids,
and now they're trying to give people perfect skulls, having your skull, because it's soft as it grows into this helmet.
That shape.
So we're doing modification as well.
Yeah. I'm not surprised at all. This was so ubiquitous in the Pacific Northwest that when Lewis and Clark came through, when they passed the Cascade Mountains, when you crossed to the west side of the Cascades, all of the Indians on the east side referred to those on the west as flatheads. Because they're dead serious. You can look it up. It was a sign of freedom. If you were a slave, a lowborn, or like if somehow you got infected or whatnot when this was going on, and then you were basically cursed and not allowed to have it. But yeah, they all modified their head in one way or another, and slightly different from each other, kind of like some sort of ritual scarring or tattooing or what. You're not infiltrating my tribe, buddy. Learn my language all you want. Your head's the wrong shape.
So let me ask you. There's a lot. I think it was in Peru or in Chile. They find these elongated skull skeletons. Joe Rogan's talked about it a lot of times. He and whether they're humans, whether they're some kind of cyborg or something like that, like they're trying to figure it out, like what exactly it is, Yeah. But the implication is that it's a different form of humanoid, where it's not necessarily a human, It could be some kind of alien human hybrid or something. But does that fit into what you're talking about, this skull modification? Or
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Because so like maybe these could be even just another species of hominid, right? Could be just another type of man that was running around that we bred with, or were found intelligent or whatever. The thing is, I think that we at some point we started copying it. Whoever the cranial modification was copying something, right? Now what that was is up for grabs, and that's where the cover up really gets frustrating, because the information is being like you just can't find it. Stuff that was available 20 years ago, 50 years ago, it's hard to find. And the AI will always push you to those skulls in Paracas, Peru. When I was researching the Pacific Northwest ones, it was just, you sure you don't mean Paracas, Peru? And it's like, no, I'm talking about fucking Washington State. What the hell's wrong with you people? I'm glad you're not a travel agent, you stupid piece of shit. But there's a lot of interesting things. The maps that show the distribution of the elongated skulls, it's all coastal. Almost all of it's coastal. And it's like all around the Pacific, all around the Mediterranean. You see it in the Middle East. Some of the Mongols had it when they were kicking ass all through Europe and stuff. I mean, this was such a ubiquitous thing that it's amazing it's so little known about and spoken about in history books and whatnot. I know people that, hell, I've lived in Spokane, Washington most of my life. I know people that live 20 miles away from where the Chinook people were modifying their kids' skulls when Lewis and Clark came through, and they took Native American classes and never learned this stuff. Like it's just not spoken of. And the natives probably have something to do with that, because those skulls were heavily looted because phrenology took off like right at the same time as these guys were being discovered. Phrenology is like, you guys seen Django Unchained when he's all rubbing the skull and going, yeah. Black folk ain't got, okay, that's that whole science. If you believe that the bumps or shape of a skull influences somebody's behavior and or intelligence.
Interesting.
The people that are all squishing skulls are definitely worth checking out. So these things became commodities, and they're like looted and sold for a lot of money to guys like Rockefeller. And again, the better the skull, that's where my big deal is. Just like any other collectible, the cooler the thing is, the less likely it is to, less likely we are to have it. The Baghdad battery, if you guys know what that is, that was snatched up in the beginning of the Gulf War, the second Gulf War, like 2003. It was stolen.
I want to get in the Baghdad battery, but I want to stay on skulls for just a second. Is there any possibility that the elongating of the skulls was make them look more like the gods they worship?
Yeah, I think that's a very possible thing. Like I was saying, the different hominids or potentially it could even just have been one guy. I mean, look what Einstein did to humanity. If he would have had a misshapen head and we were a little bit more backwards, we might have followed. And you can make your head look like that guy's, and you'll be smart. It's interesting that most of these places had the type of burials that were above ground, or like in Peru, they were buried in bags and shoved in a cave. So when you came through, you could see Grandpa if you wanted. You just open up the bag and look. When the Native Americans, they buried them in canoes up off of the ground in places that predators couldn't get to. So when you buried your dad, you could see Grandpa just laying there. Other places, they would make these catacomb type of things out of driftwood and just lay the dude in there. So you could see your ancestors with that same shape of a skull. So I think that probably would feed into it, right? This is a cultural identity thing that you see every time you bury somebody.
You're so right, dude. I mean, just look at how, like, for a short time, everyone wanted to look like the Kardashians.
That's exactly it. That's
like
exactly
the Kardashians literally brought back brunettes. Everyone wanted to be blonde forever, and then here comes these Kardashians, and they're brunettes, and now all these women want to be brunettes.
Thick
again.
eyebrows too. They brought back that. That was out.
I don't even think she looks like a Kardashian anymore. Didn't she lose some like plastic surgery? Didn't she like
which one?
Kim. If you look at her, she doesn't look like her butt isn't as big. It looks like either she worked it out
or her sister took the butt implant out.
Yeah, you see it's that bad where they're taking it out. Even their own trend is not working on them.
Well, because butt implants, and did you think you were going to talk about butt implants when you came on the show?
Yeah.
Butt implants stink. One, literally, they stink. And two, they look like Ninja Turtle shells.
It's ridiculous.
It's like nobody's like, oh, that's so hot, that weird speed bump on her back.
It stinks medically or because they can't clean their ass?
Do I look like a fucking
You
doctor?
said it like you knew, didn't
No,
you?
I've just seen
It's supposed to be
constant stories over and over that
skin
butt
folds or something.
implants literally stink.
It's like a post-surgery thing, I think. But they look like shoe boxes. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
It just doesn't look good. And it's like, I don't know one guy who's ever been like, yeah, look at that. And you're like, oh, is that fake butt? Gross.
It's really weird to me, but I mean, we do live in a world where people are, into furries and freaking octopi and walking around dressed like dogs and shit nowadays. So I don't really know.
Imagine
anymore.
digging those up years from now. That's all that's left is just an ass implant, and a skeleton. Well, how are they going to make sense of that?
How are they going to
baby
make
got
sense
back.
of any of this, dude?
Yeah.
Any of this. I mean, it's just, it's so bizarro, dude. It's just so bizarro. And it's just like anything that is out of the accepted story of the elites is automatically hidden from everybody, dude. That's what we've learned.
Or demonized.
Yeah, or demonized, scared. I mean, dude, even when you get in these symbolisms of symbols that they've demonized, I always go, let's take, and this is Sam speaking, and not Dan. So I just want to say this. We take the swastika, right? That's the universal, that's the Hindu symbol for the universe, right? But what if that symbol has some sort of power to it? Now they've made it so it can't be anywhere. And now you've taken away a way of communicating. Who knows what kind of energy you can generate with something like that. And you just see it done. Or even the swirl that now is like a pedo symbol is a symbol for the universe.
Oh, yeah, you see.
And they demonize these things so we no longer have connection with them.
Yeah. Like the swastika, in my opinion, if you think about it from I'm big on astronomy, like you probably guessed from the Sphinx thing. I'm a pretty big, I believe that the ancients, that's the number one thing that they all shared that, right? It's like I can't know for certain what a guy that lives here where I'm sitting right now, what guy 50,000 years ago, I don't know what he ate, what morality he had, what gods he worshipped, but I can look at the night sky and see almost the exact same fucking thing.
Yes, great point.
So I thank you. I think that that's a big lens that is important. So I think like the swastika, I think it's your four cardinal directions, and then the lines are symbolizing the motion of time. So I think it's, but now you're never going to interpret it that way when you look at it on a knee jerk. You're going to have to try to get there because the connotations change. Like to go back to what I was saying earlier about the Christian cross, if looking at it from 10,000 years from now, the connotations are different now than for the swastika, and that's probably never going to be undone. The swirl for the pizza thing's really frustrating. It's like I was on. You probably know Kurt Metzger.
The best.
Yeah, I was on I was on the Derp with Kurt here a week or two back, and we were talking about the skulls, and he asked what I thought that they were doing it for, and I was like, if you'd asked me 2 years ago, my answer would have been different. But hell, at this point, they might have just been like getting their next meal prepped or something. These fucking people, I just modify this kid's head a little and you soak them in some olive oil, and then
you're totally right.
It's like, God, you never, we thought our crazy uncles wouldn't shut up at Thanksgiving after we found out our TVs were listening to us, but me, man, after this, they are never going to shut up. Thanksgiving's going to be fun. As a crazy uncle, it's going to be great.
No, I'm with you on that, man. It's very interesting. And I don't know if you saw this now, and I'm always weary when something new comes out about Jesus and where is it coming from? But now they're saying that what is that cloak where Jesus' image is burning?
The Shroud of Turin.
Now they're saying it has origins into Vedic and India, which is super interesting to me because that has always been that there is these elements of Hinduism in Christianity. And some people go, that's blasphemy and all that stuff. But I'm like, you got to be open-minded to this. It's like things have been around for a long time. And the Vedics, you know, when you get into Vedic astrology, about them saying that God casted entities down here. That sounds like the story of fallen angels to me. And Vedic is older than Hinduism. Hindus have the same story. I think they had 2. The Vedics had 3 or 4. We had 33 or 33% of the angels. So it's like the story's the same story. Just again, no matter how much Bill Maher wants you to believe, that's actually discredits it. It strengthens it to me. It's just said. It's told in a way that the people of that language can understand.
Well, yeah. So, in my mind, like I call myself an atheist, and I am very. But if I was to be to label myself with, if I was to align myself with any sort of religion, it would be Taoism, and that's because it's barely a religion. If you look at it, it's a lot like Hinduism and stuff. But if you look at like the very core of what Jesus taught, if you look at the core of Buddhism or Hinduism or Taoism, it's just real simple stuff. Like the Taoism compares it with water a lot and talks about how water is loved by everything, but it goes to the places nobody wants to go. It doesn't ask for anything, and it will slowly wear down the hardest of things. It just does its own thing and goes. It's just the way is basically what the Tao translates to, but. So it was very much against dogma, very much against like spiritual this and that and these rules and all that. And then it turns right around, and 100 years later, they're writing texts that are very much about rules and dogma and stuff. And it's like with Jesus. I mean, in my opinion, like I read what Jesus did. He came into this crazy ass god of war, and he's like, boy, oh boy, it's a pretty bad time to be worshiping a god of war where you're subjugated by the Romans, ain't it? let me show you how this other way to look at God. Love thy neighbor as thyself is really, really, really way more important than anything else.
Yes.
And so I think that the God that Jesus worshipped would never in a million years damn the child of somebody to hell because they didn't get taught about the right thing. But the God that he came in and supplanted absolutely would. And then look what Paul did to Jesus's words. Jesus is over there just like, get it wide open, man. Don't wash the pots. You don't got to do that. You ain't got it. You got a donkey that falls in a hole on the Sabbath. Pull the fucking thing out. Don't be stupid about it. The laws were made for us, not the other way around. Come on. And in one generation, Paul's over there going, yeah, you guys need to do it like this. You women need to do it like this. It's the same thing over and over again. There's always somebody that comes in that's not spiritual, and they're all just like rule, trying to define and grasp on to what the other person inherently held.
Listen, I have a very similar view on it. I love Jesus. You know, I'm not trying to get this into a religious podcast at all because
you're fine.
Everybody has their own beliefs, but I do believe what you're saying is, like I've always said, I felt Jesus is a cheat code that was sent down to teach us how to survive and thrive in this energy vortex or whatever we live in, and how to shine and to be the best possible versions of ourselves. But then, of course, and again, as long as you can believe what you want, this is not anti whatever you believe. I will always support your beliefs to believe what you want to believe, as long as it doesn't involve hurting other people. I will support you. And so, you know, but when you start to get over time, more and more rules start to get implemented by generations of people who might not have the best interests of the message of Jesus, but have more selfish reasons for these rules, then it becomes something different. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. No, I would agree with that. Like if you take what Jesus said and if you believe that there is a heaven and you believe there's a hell and the basic tenets of like Judaism, and you take what Jesus said, the road's pretty simple. Just you know, try your best and understand that you're not perfect. I mean, he wasn't even, in my opinion, if Jesus was looking at this situation now, seeing people going, you know, if you don't like have Jesus in your heart, you're going to go to hell, I think he'd be appalled. I think that he would be like, you're using what I gave you as you're not worthy of the gift you've been given. You are the corrupt tree I spoke of. I think that he was a fucking hippie, man. When it came to that shit, he was a fucking hippie. He was like, the only time I'm gonna get violent is when one of you guys is exploiting. The rest of the time, kumbaya. And I mean, even what like a normal hippie, even he's like trying to feed as many people as he can with the sack lunch and shit. He's a hippie. But anyway, I think that I don't think that Jesus was. I think his message has been horribly misinterpreted because most of it, the New Testament is almost all Paul, and I don't like Paul.
I do find that interesting. Like, I have friends of mine. Again, you believe whatever you want.
Yeah.
When people pray to Mary, I find that very interesting to me. That's not my. Again, I will support whatever you want to do, but to me, it's like Jesus or get the fuck out. That's my opinion. I should put that on a shirt, and then people can yell at me. But that's my opinion, and I am just one man who has a lot of flaws. And I will support you believing what you want. I will fight for your right to believe what you want, as long as you're not hurting other people. That will always be my way. You brought up Baghdad Battery. What is that?
The Baghdad Battery was it's like a clay jar that was found in Iraq near Baghdad about 100 years ago. And the guy that was in charge of the museum at the time took a look at it, and it's got an iron post sitting down in it and a copper tube that's wrapped around it. It would function as a galvanic cell, which is a type of battery. So it would generate like half a volt or so, not very much, if you were to use like vinegar or something as a battery acid, as an electrolyte. But I don't think that it was used for electrical purposes because, for one, we don't have anything that we know of that would have been used. For two, if you look at the way these cells, a galvanic cell functions, what happens is it takes one of these things as the anode, one is the cathode. The anode loses mass and the cathode gains mass. So if you take a neutral solution that's got, say, some copper floating around inside the solution, and the iron is the anode, the iron will get pitted and pieces of that iron will disappear, and there'll be a copper buildup on that copper pipe, the cathode. Now, if you were to take mine runoff that's very acidic, like water from a gold mine, that's going to have a lot of gold and silver and copper in it, the iron, the nickel, the magnesium, all that shit would float to the bottom, and on the cathode would be your gold, your silver, and your copper. And you could separate the gold and silver from the copper through with heat. So I don't think that these things were used for electricity. I think they were used to basically pan for gold. And I think this is where your stories of alchemy come from, because they literally saw the iron get smaller and gold appear magically.
Holy shit.
So yeah, I was surprised. I mean, I'll be honest, I was kind of surprised that I made a video about it. And I was kind of blown away that it didn't take off more, because people have talked a lot about the different uses for it. And this one, to me, it kind of explains it without getting all crazy about it, because it would be so easy to discover too. If you've got some of this mine runoff, you walk by this puddle every day and you drop an iron nail in and a copper coin in, and you come back 3 days later, that copper coin's going to have a little gold buildup on it. Put two and two together. And whether you're the government or a private individual who's poor, you're going to hide this because you don't want anybody knowing you're doing it, and you don't want other people doing it. You want to be the only one in town accessing this mud puddle as far as everybody else is concerned.
Whoa.
Damn.
So, and they find other jars that are very similar, and they have scrolls inside. And so this is one of the things they say, oh, this wasn't really a battery, it was just a scroll container. But the scrolls that are inside, the ones that are similar, every one of them are mystical, magical, spellcraft, weird, goofy shit. I think this was all part of a secret initiation school kind of thing, a secret society, whatever. A bunch of alchemists that were like, we have figured out a way to make gold from nothing, boys. And
so Japan just came out that they have found a way to create oil. And I guarantee you that's not going to go anywhere. There's no way they're going to allow them to mass produce oil that could be used in your car and stuff like that. Because
what do you mean by that? Because I know like the Nazis had like synthetic oil. It was cumbersome to create, but they
I don't know. Look it up. I just saw it on like Twitter or something. Like the Japanese have created a way to make oil, and probably it's cheap then.
Yeah, we have. I mean, I drive old beaters because I'm poor white trash, or at least I was, and I'm always.
God bless you, sir. Thank you for your service.
I'm always going to wear that mantle, but even if I have a little Columbia sticker on my shit now, but I drive beaters, right? And synthetic oils, that's all I use. I don't use real oil because the real oil's not as good for those old pieces of shit cars.
For an oil change.
Yeah, I've got.
But I'm talking about like gasoline. I think I think they make gasoline. Really?
Is it gasoline? Is it maybe not oil? Maybe gasoline.
But oil meaning
reserves.
for oil for gasoline.
Fuel made from air. Japan achieved carbon neutral fuel breakthrough, but paused the project.
Of course they did,
at a
dude.
surprising moment.
Yeah, they're like, dude, we're gonna get killed if we do this.
This is
Holy shit.
What's the source of? I just want to read.
Out of the air, dude.
The Times of India. Okay. What if fuel could be made not from oil wells, but from the air around us? That's the idea that has moved closer to reality when Japan's energy giant Enios Corporation successfully produced synthetic fuel using captured carbon dioxide and hydrogen at its Yokohama demonstration plant. The project showed us that it is possible to create a liquid fuel compatible with existing engines while recycling atmospheric carbon. It marked a significant step toward low energy carbon systems.
Low
carbon energy systems, especially for sectors where electrification remains difficult. Okay. And I just want to see why they stopped it.
I mean, we're talking. He was talking about magic tricks. We're talking about sorcery here, dude.
It says despite
like the ability out of air to create fuel. I mean, like that's what we're getting into here, dude. We're getting. I mean, again, and going back to what Dan said, it's just like all this knowledge from the past they're hiding from us. I really do believe before the Great Flood that it was a lot like Harry Potter and Game of Thrones, and there was like a lot more mystical. And that shit was lost. I really do believe that. Dude.
They can currently only create 1 barrel per day, but they plan to scale that up to 10,000 barrels by 2040.
Wow.
Why the project was paused. Here we go. In 2025, Enios made the decision to halt further development of the CO2-based synthetic fuels at this stage. The reasons were largely economic, rising costs of green hydrogen production, expensive infrastructure requirements, and uncertain returns on large scale. And so the suggestion here is that it's more expensive to make this than it would be to
pull oil.
They always say
someone got a call.
Yeah,
I was just say the triad hitman that was threatening.
Yeah, 100%, dude.
Yeah, it's going to be really hard to make this oil when you're dead.
Yeah, 100%, dude. The cartel is not.
And yeah, the Nazis did have synthetic oil. It was a huge part of how they kept their war machine running. Since they lacked petroleum reserves, they used what is called the Fischer-Tropsch process and the Bergius process. These processes converted coal into liquid fuels like gasoline, diesel, and aviation fuel. IG Farben was one of the producers of this, and they did.
Oh, IG Farben?
Uh-huh.
Oh my God, the Nazis are back. The Nazis are back.
Well, no, wait, no, not the Japanese thing. I'm talking about, to be clear, I'm talking about the Nazis here. Like how they made synthetic fuel from coal. By the 1940s, a large chunk of Germany's fuel supply was synthetic. The plants were huge fixed targets and were bombed. They were the targets of all the bombing right away. But yeah, they did have a impressively, for the time, advanced system.
Yeah, you were just talking a minute ago about how the world was Harry Potter. You believe before the flood. Well, you guys have probably heard the argument for why we live in a simulation, like the mathematical argument, right? Like if we ever get to the point where we could make a perfect simulation, how many would we make? And so if we make 1 billion of those, then that means there's 1 billion to 1 chance that you live in the real universe, right?
Yes.
So Now, what if we go back to the time before the flood and all the magic and stuff was they just needed to do an update patch. It's like when Left 4 Dead let zombies all just pile up in the dumpsters, and they needed to update it. So people would walk around doing this goofy shit, and it would crack the game, and they could clip through a wall or whatever. And then they go and they patch it, but then people are still walking around trying to clip through the walls and shit.
Like just basically your energy affects the simulation. Is that what you're saying?
Oh, like if the old school, if the simulation had bugs, like when they on the Matrix, where they talk about how they'd have to reprogram this and that, and entire harvests were lost and shit like that. You know, what if the system had glitches? And so just for whatever reason, if you made this sound and burnt one of these cobwebs at the same time you farted towards the full moon, you did whatever.
You just end up in the back rooms. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. If you watch how they beat Super Mario Brothers, like on the Super Nintendo Super Mario World, like the world record nowadays, if they use a tool assisted speed run where they have a computer, basically making frame perfect inputs, they can like hack the game into making you beat the game from like the very beginning. It's like a minute and a half.
A minute? Wow.
With turtle shell, it warps you. It's just like you're doing shit with turtle shells and spitting fireballs, and next thing you know, you're just running around with all the people behind you. You just won the game. And it's that way with a bunch of shit nowadays. And so that's what I mean by that. Like you guys played Mario 64, right? People are beating that with like 8 stars now. Because you can backwards jump through the walls and through the doors and up staircases and places you shouldn't be able to go.
Now, do you think that was put in, or is it just a glitch in the Matrix?
Well, the games is just a glitch. So I'm just saying, if we live in a simulation, you know, then it does make sense that they would probably have glitches and stuff, and then that would be remembered as magic, as something that didn't make no fucking sense.
Yeah, because
interesting.
I kind of get what he's trying to say, because like, now, if there's a glitch in the game, they update it. They patch it through online. But back then, if you bought a game at GameStop and it came with the glitch, that glitch was yours forever. Technically, you could always do whatever you want, like limited ammo. If you can find the cheat code for limited ammo, you had a limited ammo on GTA.
Or
for
if you
days.
could buy a game genie.
Or yep, he knows what's up. Yeah.
Well, here's the most
Interesting.
worrying scenario is the one you just described, right? Where this game was programmed, but there is no dev team on it anymore. You know, this simulation we're in has just been abandoned.
Whoa!
You know what I mean? And we're just, what if
that's really crazy?
Yeah, so that does imply a creator, but you know, there's
he's
people
just moved on to something else. He's got another gig.
That's why we have.
He's working on The Witcher 4. You know, like he's not worried about The Witcher 3 anymore.
He's still on GTA 6. Motherfucker.
Yeah.
He's milking that thing.
Damn, dude. That's a crazy thought, Johnny. Why when nobody's running it?
It's mind
and
bending.
it's just starting to warp itself.
Starting to get crazy, starting to get wild. No one's keeping it on track. No one's keeping it on track. No one's making sure the president is in the media.
The surest sign that nobody's running simulations when furries show up. that means the dev development has left the building and we're on our own.
Oh man. Well, the fucking existence of a certain island is the kind of thing that you would like to think if there is a god who would get him throwing some lightning bolts. I mean, that's one of the arguments that I always end up with myself, where it's like I'm stumbling over the word, but it's what a lot of people believed, that the idea that God created and walked away. Before evolution, it was really popular. Like Thomas Jefferson believed it. Deism, right? Yeah, deism. And, you know, that idea's got some potential merit to it, but it's like, dude, you know, there's some really nasty shit that goes on this planet, and so it's like if I had the ability to stop it and didn't, people would tell me I was f***ed up. So I end up having like I can't look at whatever creator or whatever God's supposed to be running this without being like, I can't. You need to do better, buddy. Come on, man.
Yeah, you know,
Step it up.
I've heard something that kind of a soothing thought related to that is this idea that the creator imagined, if you want to use a word that makes sense to us humans, all possible worlds where free will was given to humanity, and this is just the best one. You know, so this is
this is the best it gets.
Yeah, all the terror and horror and all the bad things that happen are the result of human original sin, free will.
Oh, well, I mean, there's an argument for that. I mean, our free will allows us to make decisions, and does that? What is the ramification of those decisions?
And we're left to, on this plane, police ourselves and take care of each other.
Yeah, that's at that point. At that point, it feels like I don't need to believe in a God to do right. At that point, you know what I'm saying? It's like at that point, it's just
The effect is the same, yeah.
like I honestly, and a lot of people will think that like not believing in a God, you lose that. Like you know, what do you shout? Oh, science when you're having sex or whatever, right? But you know, again, to go back to Carl Sagan, like he would go off on like, all right, the first generation of stars after the Big Bang were all made out of hydrogen, a tiny bit of helium. In the hearts of those stars were formed carbon and oxygen and iron and nickel. And then these things explode billions of years later, scatter their shit all throughout the universe. These coalesce and make second generation stars that includes rocks and people eventually, because now they've got the elements needed to create life. And so when we stand up at the night sky, we stare at a star. We are literally star stuff looking at star stuff. We are the cosmos looking at itself, like staring. And that's as fucking profound in my mind as any God could ever be. This is.
Yeah, I get it.
I don't also put it. Sorry.
No, and that same kind of spooky feeling you get is the same when you study the observer effect, right?
Yeah.
It's I mean, it's mind bending.
Absolutely. With Einstein's head, he says, "I'd like to believe the moon was there, whether I looked at it or not."
yeah, exactly. No, precisely. Yeah, and those are the kinds of things. I mean, I maybe we're just differently inclined, but they kind of push me toward, some kind of.
I don't have a problem. How do you put it? I don't think there's a God. But I do think that there is more to us on all kinds of levels. Into fractals, for example, I think that we're going to be more than that. Infinity is something like when you reference that. I do think that like if it can happen, it probably will, and that's probably what reality is.
And probably has. That's the crazy thing. Yeah.
Exactly, but that at that point to me it is. This is devoid of like direction or guidance. It is. Right? And then you get into religion, and what does God call himself? I am.
Yeah.
So you get like it all goes back to how you look at it. Like Buddha said, God's a mountain with a whole different lot of or enlightenment is with a whole different lot of ways to climb it. Right.
Yep.
So
it's fascinating.
One of the things I tell my sister sometimes, because she's very Christian, and I've told her it's been a while, but I say that if you use the Bible's standards, you've got the parable of the talents, where he says, you don't bury your talent in the ground, you're wasting the talents. You guys know that. That's a parable, I'm sure.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, and then there's the parable of the two sons, and the one tells the master that he'll work. Tells dad he'll show up in the field, but doesn't, and the other one says, "I'm not going to do it," but he does. And then Jesus asks the rhetorical question, which one did their father's work? And so I use those two together, and I say, "Look, man, God gave me this talent. I'm not going to bury it in the ground. And if me professing that I don't believe in God while I'm using what I was given." I feel like if he's real, I'm doing his work, so I don't really know what else to say there. And she's like, okay, well, I don't know what to say either.
Agree to disagree.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing is as long as we're not like, as long as we're not trying to nail each other to trees or send each other off to fight and die religious wars and shit, there's really no problem with everybody having different religious beliefs. It's when one group starts looking at other groups like they're pieces of shit because of it that we start having problems.
All right, guys, real quick, I'll just give you my dates. Exciting. Raleigh's coming up tonight. Johnny, I'll see you tonight.
Yes.
Johnny's not going to show up.
I think I will.
I think I might. Atlanta, Hamilton, Toronto, then Dallas. Dallas, here's the thing. Dana doesn't want me to tell you this, but Eddie got hired to do some jiu-jitsu stuff, so he can't make it to these dates. So I got some killers coming with me. If you bought tickets, trust me, you're going to have a great time. Fort Worth, Huntington Beach, Then I'm shooting my special. I believe there's going to be 2 shows. Grab your tickets now. I'm telling you, bro, if I fine tune this shit that I got right now, it's going to be a murder half an hour.
Amazing.
Immersion. Albuquerque, New Mexico, 1,000 sold out. People keep asking me, can you help me get tickets? Here's what I tell you do. Just keep going back to the website, and you'll be like, oh yeah, we got one available, and you'll grab it. But just know we're having an after party too. If you can't make it to the show, come to the after party. Joke World, just signed my contract. I will be there. I'm doing 2 hours there. Does that mean okay? And then I've got Lawrence, then I got Tulsa, then I got Skankfest, and then I got Austin. I'm at the mothership at the end of the year. And then check out World War Debate. World War II is coming, but the Contender Series is about to start. We're just getting contract signed, and it's good to go. And amazing things are happening with World War Debate. We're very excited. All right, let's go back to the show. As we wrap it up here, I want to ask you, as you study history, right, there seems to be these, maybe not completely, but extinction events where there seems to be a reset.
Yeah.
Is there anything that gets you worried that we might be hurling towards that again?
Well, the time, I mean, it's not that hurling toward it again. It is inevitable that something catastrophic will happen on this planet again. That sucks, but it's inevitable. It's going to be a solar flare or an asteroid or something. Volcanic eruption that blots out the sun for 20 years. Something terrible is going to happen again. And it's hopefully not in my time or my kids' times, but it's, there's no way around it. It's funny because this is so ingrained in us that even the scientists, they end up clamoring that with everything that when they really want to push something, they end up pushing that doomsday button. And which excuse me, inevitably diminishes the impact of what they say. I mean, the sky is falling is right? That's the reaction most people give. So it's funny to me that it's like with the climate science. If the scientist really wants to push climate science, going out and saying, well, you've got 10 years before everything goes to shit, is kind of like going out and saying you got 10 years before Jesus comes back. And when you're wrong, you kind of look fucking stupid. So the best thing to do is just say, here's the data, here's what's happening.
So I again, I'm not trying to insult anyone's religion that's listening. I'm just asking questions, and your belief is your belief, and I support you to believe that. But as we see these wars in the Middle East, and what is so obviously an astroturfing of the end of days, a 100% theater production done by religious extremists to bring on the end of days and their Messiah and all that stuff. What I find interesting, and because we hold the Abrahamic religions in a higher standards and respect compared to these more fringe religions, right?
Yep.
I find it very interesting that we have a history of occult leaders, whatever, giving us days that the end is near. And then the end never comes. I don't know if you're an expert to answer this. This is maybe a question as more of a human being. What if that happens with this?
No, I think it's going to continually happen with, what did Jesus say? This generation is not going to pass away before you see me return. It's like, this is, the ball gets kicked in different directions all the time. If it was, honestly, there's a crazy uncle path to world peace. Just take a little bit of that radioactive material and drop it off on the dome of the rock and make it glow in the dark for like 10,000 years. All go back and rewrite the ending of your books. Get the here. Go right.
I find it interesting, dude. I find it really interesting because this war with Iran is just a really weird one, and it doesn't make any sense to me. And I mean, I know that's their goal, is to confuse us, but it's so weird. Israel's getting pounded, but then Israel's attacking Lebanon and Palestine, but they're getting pounded. But why aren't you pulling your resources to fight back against the people pounding you? It's just and I go, what if they don't get their desired ending? What happens then?
Well, yeah. I mean, that whole thing has been so religiously motivated for so long.
Yes.
Even at the end of World War II, the creation of the state of Israel was, this is done based on biblical beliefs. And there's no question that created a lot of bad blood between us and the Middle East. I'll just give you an example. Imagine if there was a war that happened over in the Ukraine. Imagine that there's a bunch of Native Americans, a whole bunch of Cherokee that live over there, and they get all rounded up and put into camps and shit. And then the war ends, and the Ukrainian government wins, and they're like, "Hey, guess what? California is now Cherokee land, and we're going to put all the Cherokee there." You think we'd be pissed?
Yeah,
Fucking of course we'd be
100%.
pissed, right? So it's like and I'm not saying that Israel has no right to exist. I'm just saying this is what, very factually, there was no state there. We created one. It was created for religious reasons and to bring about the end of days, like you say, astroturfing it. We're going to fucking make this happen, damn it.
Well, I'm going to go on a limb that Israel cannot exist operating the way it is currently operating, and it is anti-humanity. And I sometimes I think it's done on purpose to again fulfill prophecy that everyone goes to war with Israel. We had the last guest we had on. They were talking about how God is still going to help Israel even if they're acting bad, and that just is an insane idea to me. That they would do that. But and this is a question I'm not saying you have any answer to. But it's like, let's just say Israel goes away, right? Let's just say it disappears. Where do those people go?
That's a very good question. I mean, that's like you couldn't just. It's like one of those wolf by the ear scenario. You can't just pull the plug and walk away. Obviously, if that happened, we'd have a fucking World War III start. So,
but it's also like when Herzl, is that the guy who started the father?
Theodore Herzl. Yeah.
Theodore Herzl. He had 3 places he was thinking about putting Israel. One was where it is currently. One was, I believe, Argentina, where they're kind of taking over that forest area as we speak. And guess where the other one was, guys? Texas.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
You want to write a crazy TV show? What happens if they set up Israel in the middle of Texas, bro? But so my question goes, where do these millions of people of Israel go? And what happens? What do they do once they get there?
Well, I mean,
it's not the first time that would happen.
What?
No,
It's not the first time that they would have to go somewhere else.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, you're talking about a very weaponized ideology. Like, are they just going to go be like, "Hey, dude, we tried. I'm going to go work at Subway now."
Back to the New York bakery. Delis, yeah. Bagel time, boys.
It's an interesting. I don't want to make anybody uncomfortable, but this is something I've been thinking a lot about.
I'm not like I steer clear of a lot of that stuff, not just for my YouTube stuff, but in a lot of it in general. Like, whenever war happens, the disinformation machine literally goes into work. So
yes, and we're seeing it now.
Oh, and so you can't. Even you look at World War II, and we still don't know how many planes were shot down in some battles because our boys would misreport them so they didn't get in trouble. The Japanese would misreport it. So it's this is always just a jumble. So whenever I see these kinds of things happen, I just shake my head and say, I guess kind of do whatever the fuck you want, military guys, until you start drafting shit, or don't get too crazy. Don't start raising my taxes too much. But whatever, you guys are just gonna lie to me anyway. Fuck.
Yeah.
I hate getting old because you just get jaded and you're just like, God damn it. Remember when I used to scream and try to change all that?
Yeah.
That was just dumb.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm with you on that. The question becomes, and we'll end it here, do facts exist? at this point in our society, are there facts or are there just interpretation of data?
Well, I'll give you a fact here. You get twice as much money per video if you piss off the other team and make your team happy at the same time than you do if you just make your team happy. So I think that's where our country's being ripped in half with facts or the lack of facts is they feed one side one thing, feed the other side the other.
Yeah.
If I make and you piss them both off and it's like, yeah, well, the country's getting all destroyed, the world's falling apart, but tonight I eat ribeye, so
That's a great point, dude. That's a great point. Dan, great show. One more time. Tell them where they can find you.
You'll find me in Sedona, Arizona, May 1st through 3rd at the Quest for Ancient Civilizations Conference. You could also find me at Dedunking on YouTube or on Instagram or on Twitter. If you go find me on Twitter, you're going to find me yelling at people. Be forewarned. I shit post regularly, especially if they're an asshole. I don't. There's no reason for me to be nice to somebody on the internet when they're an asshole.
I agree. People are being such dicks lately. Just be nice to strangers, especially people you don't know.
Well, it's like how much of it's real people? It's like these bots are just set to cause. Everything's about feeding off. These lizards feed off our fucking anxiety, dude. And it's just about cranking up the anxiety. Like the guy that made the stupid ass comment on Broken Sim. It's like, Broken Sim is our comedy podcast. We talk shit and we have fun. It's just dudes talking. And he's like, why aren't you trying to save the world? I'm like, bro, that's what the other 5 podcasts are for.
What are you doing?
For us just to have fun and talk shit. It's just, you can't worry about it. Brother,
I lost followers in the last election cycle because I was being told that I needed to weigh in on both sides. You need to support Trump. You need to support Biden. You need to support this. And I'm just sitting there going, have you watched my YouTube? I talk about big rocks. Why the do you think my opinion is worth a? What do I know? Big rocks. Why do you think? Why do you care?
I think that's great, dude. I think that's great. And in my whole opinion, if you're playing either side, if you believe in either side, you're setting yourself up for failure anyways. The real nice play, like you talk about how you're religiously atheist. I'm politically atheist. I don't trust either side as far as I can kick them. We've been getting spit roasted by both of them for the last 100 years. So the notion now everyone's like, we're going to run back to the Democrats. Like you just said, the Democrats 2 years ago. Now you're running back here, and then 2 years you run back there. It's like you guys are just getting played, and you just can't tell anybody. They just don't want to think. Nuance is a very specialized skill.
Yeah, there's 2 glasses of water. One's full of mercury, the other's full of lead, and they run from one, drink it, run back to the other, and drink it, and run back and forth. Why am my hair falling out? I don't get it.
Debunking Dan, you are a fucking savage. Thank you so much for coming on. Open door. Come back anytime you want, dude. Love talking to you. Looking forward to it again. And let's break down the episode. All right, guys. Well, let's break it down. What did you guys think about Dedunking Dan?
Dude, it's been a while since we did a history one.
I love those. Hidden history is my favorite subject. If I wasn't working all the time, working down into a nub, I would go to that convention.
I was about to say you'd go to the Sphinx and the pyramids and all that. Like
I would like to, but I just need to cool off. I need to once I get old and I'm done, I'm going to delete all my social media so no one knows who I am and just travel the world.
Like Ari?
Yeah. Ari still has his Instagram.
No, but I mean, just go off the grid.
I want that badly. Like,
where would you go? Egypt? Would you go to Egypt?
I go check out Egypt, the fucking Vatican. I go everywhere.
Did you see Shia LaBeouf at the Vatican?
That's perfect.
That's great.
Isn't it crazy how when women get messed with as kids, they have a certain energy, and then when guys do it, they just become destructive.
Chaos, yeah.
They just crank up the chaos, and it's fucking really weird.
That's why that stuff is so sinful, just so evil.
Does he have kids? No, right?
No, not that he knows of.
Does he not? I thought maybe he did have kids.
I've never seen him with kids before, and imagine that's your dad.
Yeah, I was going to say, imagine he's your dad.
Everybody zigs and zags. Yeah. You know, your dad's crazy, you'll go the other
Which is weird, because I kind of have a weird
He has
feeling
one child, a daughter named Isabel, born in 2022.
Oh, really?
With Mia Goth, that crazy actress chick. Yeah.
Who's Mia Goth?
You have to look her up, actually. She's she's in a bunch of where she plays like a psycho in different movies. She's crazy, got crazy energy.
Oh yeah,
like real.
That's why
crazy
he got her
energy.
pregnant. And she's just like, "Where's my money?"
She's in those like body horror movies where she plays like psycho killer.
Oh, that one, the one with no eyebrows.
Yeah, Mia Goth. Yeah.
Oh, she look, yeah, right there.
Oh
She's
my
not a good
God,
look for her
you're
right
like,
there.
I like a chick who looks like an alien.
Yeah, she's one of those types. She's got a very unique face.
Very unique. Is she somebody's famous kid? Oh, she has a goth baby too.
No, her name is Goth.
Her
Oh,
name's
yeah,
Goth.
dude.
Her last name's Goth.
Let's see who her parents are.
Anyways, dedunking Dan.
Yeah. Her parents are Brazilian, Rachel, and Canadian, Eric. They separated when she was young. Yeah, doesn't sound like anything notable here.
Sounds like she's doing great.
Oh yeah, she's killing it. They love her in these weird movies. She does all these bizarre like indie films. And stuff.
Yeah, let's elongate her skull.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll elongate her skull.
I thought it was great. I love hidden history. The gatekeepers of knowledge really are doing damage.
They suck.
To archaeology, to medicine and health. Yes. And it's so crazy. It's just so crazy to me that they just want to hide information from you that will help you.
Okay, do you think maybe by the time your kids are in high school or something that the narrative of the pyramids being someone's temple and all that will change?
Yes.
You think by then
You do, really?
I think what will be taught in school will be one thing, and what will be taught on the internet will be another thing, and the internet will be more powerful than school.
It's funny you bring that up. Did you see that thing I tweeted? There's this thing now, which I wasn't aware of, but I guess it's big among young people. Ivy Day, where you find out if you got into the Ivy League schools.
Yeah.
And there's this trend, I guess probably on TikTok and elsewhere. I saw it on X, of these families gathering around the computer, recording themselves as the child finds out if they got into the Ivies. And you've never seen reactions like this to getting, and really what they're celebrating here is the last moment before these children are weaponized against their parents and return with dyed armpits and girlfriends and piercings and everything. But it really, I mean, it's such an ingenious system of indoctrination. This university system, and I think I'm optimistic that maybe that will change. That we won't view them as quite the goal. Because for so many children, that's the end goal. Is you go to college.
Ivy League, yeah.
Well, and also like you see this with
dies.
doctors. They saddle you with so much debt. You really just got to hurry up and get a job to start paying this debt off.
Yeah, a mountain of debt. Yeah.
And then you look at women. Women now make the majority of college. I mean, like when I was looking for a college, the big sell is like, hey man, there's 4 chicks every guy, and that's when I went to school.
Yeah, that was my UNC. Yeah, that was.
That's how universities would attract guys. Hey man, look how many chicks are at this school. And now all these women are now leaving college with so much debt. It's like hard for them to also actually get in a relationship because men don't want to take on that debt.
Especially with the shitty career that they ended up getting.
Yeah. Anyways, if you go to samtripoli.com, Raleigh, Atlanta. I mean, real quick to go back to that. How many women specific jobs are now being replaced by AI?
Like, well, for example.
Like, well, we just said pornography, but
that was before.
But what about
waitresses,
secretary, data entry,
customer support,
support? I mean, dude,
even a waitress. Now they're just these robots at the bottom at the restaurant. Now you order through that little thing where it used to be a waitress comes up. Hey,
they have bartenders now that are robo bartenders.
Yeah. And what about a doctor's assistants?
Like nurses and stuff?
Yeah.
Physicians assistants.
I mean, unless the doctor wants to bang his staff, why would you have to pay for that when you could just be like, and by the way, someone said this great, just know the doctors that are coming in now use ChatGPT to pass their shit. But the question becomes also, Johnny, is like, so much of your medical, your doctrine is like you just regurgitating what they want you to say.
Yeah.
I mean, it's getting crazy. I'm going to be in, this is coming out, Raleigh, Atlanta, Hamilton, Toronto, Dallas, Fort Worth, Huntington Beach, Austin, Albuquerque, Austin, Lawrence, Kansas, Tulsa, New Orleans for Skankfest, and Austin for the Mothership. And one more time, May 22nd is I'm shooting my special at the Creek and Cave. Me and Kim Khan to come get weird. And then World War Debate is also blowing up. So check that out. Big news is coming. We're very excited about that. And then the Contender Series. All my content's on samtripoli.com. All my premium content I'll put up against anyone's premium content. It's fucking fire. If you love conspiracy, so we try to make Tinfoil Hat evergreen, meaning 5 years from now, you can just listen to today's episode and not have to be like, oh, dude, that's all old stuff. My premium content is brand new. It's what's it called? It's more
current event.
Current event. There we go. So go check that out. Check out my memes, my thumbnails. Johnny, let's talk about Cash Daddies.
Cash Daddies is a place to learn with other people about finance and Wall Street and stocks and investing from the one guy among us who knows shit about stocks and investing. That's Howie Dewey.
Howie Dewey, one of the best. He'll be with me in Atlanta.
Yeah, and you can also, like I said, join a community. We have a Discord where people, it's kind of like Wall Street Bets, but like a sort of a smaller community with better ideas.
A lot funnier.
Go down a little bit. What is Howie doing with that hat?
What hat?
Go up. That one. Go down.
There's
there.
Hat?
He's got a hat on. It's barely on his head.
He's got a hat on?
Yeah, behind that. Look.
Oh, like T.I.?
Oh, that's his little, I called him out on that before.
And he's in the shower?
It's his,
and he's in the shower.
There's a shower head on top.
He's obviously doing his bathroom.
It's his girl's thing, and he puts it on his head when it's cold.
Oh, that's cute.
I asked him about it.
That's so not
I was
cute.
like, why do you have a do-rag on, bro? And
go down. Chaos Twin's coming. I'm going to work on that this week. New t-shirts coming. I'm working on that. Check it out. Great way to support the show. tinfoilat-t-shirts.com.
Oh, wait,
look at that one. That's an old one.
Nice. And black and white. It used to have color in it.
Oh, that's cool.
Well, that's
nice
a
one.
badass one. You know what that's from, Johnny?
Clockwork Orange.
There you go, buddy. Clockwork Orange.
$20.
One of the original t-shirts. Oh, we're bringing back the classics.
Whoa.
Oh, I like Sam was right.
Oh, it's the same little fella as before. By the way, we had somebody do the tattoo.
They got it?
Yeah, somebody did the tattoo.
Someone got it?
Only one? I thought you said another person, but the chick
Well,
did
not
it.
unless you know somebody. The chick. Yeah, that's all I
She
know.
got it.
Yeah.
Now I get my news from Sam Tripoli. What'd she win?
She's going to be making an appearance on Broken Sim.
Let's go, bro. Let's go.
By the way, if you're listening to this, I messaged you to arrange that, and I haven't heard back. So if you don't want to do it, you don't have to. We're
We'd
not going
love
to
to
make
have you on, but I love when chicks
you
put
guys
my
are-
name on their body.
You guys are making dreams happen.
I haven't seen it yet, by the way, but she
I did.
say.
She showed it
Oh,
to
she
me.
showed it to you. Okay.
It's on her wrist.
Oh,
Poor dear.
No, she's great.
No, I mean,
it.
just
So hot.
it.
be
So
burdened with
hot.
your name for the rest of your life.
Guys, go to Wise Wolf Golden Silver, samtripoli.gold, get in the Precious Metals game. I got to fix that link. Mineral King, I'll get that link fixed. I'll cure hydrogen brown gas. Harley Ray. Check it out. Candles, crystals, and all that stuff. Chemical Free Body loading up. They got some new stuff they're sending me too. Super Soldier shit.
Ooh.
So excited about that. My good friend Joel Staley. EMF Rock said Dirty Energy, trying to get that $1 billion idea going. Prometheus, if you want a decentralized website, and on or off.
I'm on this week. Let's go.
On. Brain Supreme. Let's go. Anything else?
Check out my podcast. I just did a deep dive with my co-host, who's a GATE program participant. So let's go down that rabbit hole.
Johnny?
At Johnny Woodard on Twitter. Check out Broken Sam. We had a good episode. We got into that Charlie Kirk bullet shit, which is just insanity.
Hey, also go to youtube.com, Tinfoil Hat Official, or Official Tinfoil Hat.
Tinfoil Hat Official.
Tinfoil Hat Official. Get that. Help us grow. We're going to be getting those videos up as soon as possible. That's just how we do it. And yeah, dude, that's it. Tinfoil Hat
Right
Official.
there,
we
guys.
go. Upside down. Almost how many?
52,000, almost
All right,
53.
let's get to 60,000 guys. That's not bad. Yeah, that's not bad. We got some numbies slowly going up, slowly. very hard on slowly. You know, yeah, man, a lot of fun. It's so crazy. Go up. Look at that virus one, 5,000, and it's one of the best episodes we've ever fucking done.
Yeah,
unbelievable, dude. I mean, like, I don't want to chase views, but it's just like that was a great episode, dude. You know,
we've been
all
rocking.
right. Well, so finally, Dedunking Dan. I thought he was great. I mean, dude, who knows what the two sphinxes mean? I heard it has to do with like a library of knowledge or something. It's supposed to point where this is. There's a certain thing right there.
Something that still exists, you think?
That's where they think it is. No one's been able to find it. And they think this is where it's at. And then you get into what's below the pyramids. Like, you remember they were saying those are giant rods?
Yeah. My question is it something that can be like started up again, or is it just
like a spaceship or like a power plant?
Whatever it is.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
Or is it just like a remnant of something? You know what I mean? Is this like something that has?
You're asking the hard hitting questions, Johnny.
Do you think it has a meaning, like for the future, or is this just we're just deciphering what it used to be?
Johnny, you sound so sad.
No, I just tired.
Johnny, if you start crying, our views will go way the.
Oh, I can cry on a moment. I'm good at faking emotions.
Johnny, what's harder for you to do, cry or poop?
Have you ever done both?
I don't have a problem with you either.
Have you ever cried while you were
at the
pooping?
same time? Yeah, I'm probably.
That's a level of enlightenment very few people can get to.
That would suck, dog.
Such a relief. Yeah.
You're crying and you have to take a shit. Someone died, but you got to take a shit.
Actually, killing it. Yeah, right. Killing yourself.
All right, guys.
So
enjoy
gross.
the highlights.
It's horrible. Here's a clip from the latest Broken Sim. JD Vance is just on a lie tour.
I mean, dude, they're all full of it. Anyone whose beard is that manicured is full of shit.
He's prepping for both his presidential run and for Project Bluebeam, it appears. This was him with, what is it? Well, this is reported by Disclosed TV, but I'm not sure who he's talking to here. This is him talking about aliens, Sam. Tell me what you think.
You're going to release all the UFO files?
We're working on it. It's funny. When I came in, I was obsessed with the UFO files. And then you start getting really busy worrying about the economy and national security and things like that. But I've still got 3 more years as vice president. I will get to the bottom of the UFO files.
Okay. Have you peeked? Have you done a peek?
Have I what?
Have you done a peek? Have you
So I actually haven't. I have
full
not.
Independence Day.
I have. I have not been able to spend enough time on this to really understand it. Yeah. But I am going to. Trust me. I'm obsessed with this. I've already had a couple of times where I'm like, all right, we're going to Area 51. We're going out to New Mexico. We're going to sort of get to the bottom of this. And then the timing of the trip just didn't work out. But trust me, anybody who's curious about this, I'm more curious than anybody. And I've got 3 years of the very, very tippy top of the classification. I'm going to get to the bottom of it.
Okay, so you haven't been to Area 51 yet?
Not yet. Not yet.
Say they keep the UFOs in Ohio.
Hangar 18. Hangar 18, right? I've heard that as well. But I don't know. I haven't looked into it yet.
Okay. All right. Well, we're waiting for it. We saw aliens.gov. We saw aliens.gov.
I don't think they're aliens. I think they're demons anyway, but that's a longer discussion.
Well, I can't let you go without a follow-up on that. Because Barack Obama is on this podcast and he goes, yeah, aliens are real, but here's where they're not. And,
I did not.
And so Obama says, yes, aliens are, he gets asked point blank, are aliens real? Oh, yeah. And then he goes, but they're not at Area 51. And
where are they, bro?
Well, that's what he says. Right. That's a great question.
Trump had to
go save him, and he said he's going to declassify. Okay. So you think they're demons?
Well, look, I think that celestial beings who fly around, who do weird things to people, I think that the desire to describe everything celestial, everything as otherworldly, to describe it as aliens. I mean, every great world religion, including Christianity, the one that I believe in, has understood that there are weird things out there. And there are things that are very difficult to explain. And I naturally go, when I hear about sort of extra natural phenomenon, that's where I go to, is the Christian understanding that, there's a lot of good out there, but there's also some evil out there. And I think that one of the devil's great tricks is to convince people he never existed.
Yeah. I mean, right now, Kurt Metzger's on Danny Jones. He has a clip that went almost 400,000 views of him basically saying that they're demons.
Yeah.
I think they're demons. We've always been saying that. People have no clue of the realm we live in. It's so dumb.
What's JD Vance's end of that, though? Why does he come out and say that now?
Because he's playing to the Christians.
Right, but isn't the whole point of Bluebeam is to make us think that they are not demons, that they're from another planet, so that we have this kind of come together moment as under a one world government?
Yeah, but they're losing the right. They need to bring the right back. They're losing the right. I mean, like these idiots.
No, Sam, no, they have 100% of MAGA supporting.
Oh my God. Can you believe they said that? Like, how do you ever listen to these dumbasses again?
No.
How do you ever listen to them? Hey, dude, weren't you the guy that said, Trump had 100% of MAGA? You're like, yeah, I wouldn't even listen to you when it comes to what you want to order to eat, you piece of shit. I wouldn't listen to you when it comes to the weather if you were standing outside, okay? Go F yourself. And then you hear Bill Maher's dumbass. I mean, Johnny, Dana got mad at me when I said he was retarded in the crowd. I missed a moment to tell him to go f himself at the Comedy Store. I probably would have been banned for life.
What did he say?
He's like, Israel, every war Israel's ever fought is a defensive war. It's like, get out of here.
Defensive war. Yeah, he's a full-blown idiot on Israel for sure. I defend him in a lot of ways, but on Israel, he's from that background. Even though he grew up Catholic, he's not like, he didn't grow up Jewish, but he's always been.
Yeah, it's amazing how all these atheists.
No, well, he grew up Catholic, right?
What?
He grew up Catholic, but yeah, he became that way. Yeah.
Dana, did you find it? What? My phone, my social media phone.
Oh no!
Yeah.
You lost your phone again?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
I lose it every time in this freaking house.
You think it's a ghost?
Yes, or I'm just retarded. Either way, it could go either way. Yeah, I forgot, dude. So thank you for reminding me, guys.
What's happened?
Thank you. Someone reminded me, dude. We gotta get back to basics on this show. Unbelievable, dude. Unbelievable. We gotta get
here's
back.
David Lynch's watch, by the way. I was talking to you guys about that last week. There's David Lynch's watch. It's still got his caked in David Lynch's sweat right there on the watch.
Johnny, that's a nice watch that you paid 10 grand for.
No, it wasn't 10 grand.
I can't believe you did that.
It was only a few $100. The one before this, by the way, they got on the news that they were selling it, sold for like $5,000 a couple months ago. I got this for a few hundred. So look at that.
You're not showing me anything.
I already put it up there. You weren't looking.
Yeah, you can't say, look at that, and not show me.
I had it up there for a good long time.
Johnny, will you ever wear that, or does that go in the safe?
At first I thought I would wear it, and then it got here, and it's just, it's literally covered in like his skin cells and stuff.
Oh, Johnny, are you going to slow stroke it to it?
No, I'm not like that. I don't.
You are like that, Johnny.
No, there's a long history of watches being handed down over the generations and preserved. You get like Steve McQueen's watch out there. I think Paul Newman has famous.
Oh, you want that, don't you, Johnny?
No, I just think there's something kind of interesting. It's like an artifact of Hollywood that I think is interesting. I don't. And I love David. David Lynch is probably the only
Johnny, if you could buy Bruce Lee's last cup, would you wear it? Would you buy it? The last cup he ever wore in a Kumite?
No, I don't. But now, if you told me I could get like, no. Would you get his jock strap, Sam?
Yes. It'd probably be a small jock strap because he's Asian.
Well, it doesn't matter. You're going to wear it on your head anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Well, that's true, Johnny.
If you'd like to hear the rest of this episode, subscribe to Broken Simulation in your podcasting app or check us out at youtube.com/Sam Tripoli.
Tonight, we're deep diving into one of the most disturbing programs that they try to bury, the Gates program. Gifted and talented education program. Nope. We're talking another recruitment pipeline for the CIA. We're talking
finally
psychic
starting
tests,
to remember.
weird pink drinks, frequency headphones, and kids that were never ever the same again. And to my right, my inked up co-host was a GATE participant.
You've been on our radar for a long time.
Let you guys in on what is the GATE program. Were you part of it? If you are, don't forget to leave a comment, subscribe, and let's get right into it. Strap in. This is gonna get weird. Welcome back to the #1 educational podcast in the world. It's your boy XG Marks the Spot, and like always, I got my #1 producer / journalist, Chili Millie. Oh boy, do I know how to fucking pick 'em, dog. I know how to pick 'em. Sam Tripoli knows how to pick 'em. For everybody who doesn't know, Chili Millie is a GATE participant.
GATE program participant.
GATE program participant. So is Johnny Woodard. If you're a 90s baby like me, you know exactly what the GATE program was. It was a gifted and talented education program established in 1980 in the United States. The whole opposite of the fucking special ed program. It was for and the opposite of the ESL program, which I was very, very part of. English second learning language. Damn,
Yeah.
I don't even know it till this
I was going to
day.
ask you what ESL
But yeah. The GATE program was just a program in the 1980s replacing the earlier mentored gifted minor program. That shit just, the word minor alone lately is just very triggering.
Yeah.
But it was a program that was established to pick out the smarter kids, the talented ones. I'm telling you, this is how they picked the mayors, the politicians, the CIA agents. I think this is how they started recruiting them. But, which is weird because I think every school recruited them separately or differently, right?
Yeah, I think so.
How'd you get recruited?
Because
I don't think I got
didn't think about it
recruited.
till right
Huh?
now. I didn't think about it till right now. I was in ESL. So like they put me in ESL automatically. But
Why? Because you got
my
the tan
last
in you?
name.
Okay, yeah, because that's how
Yeah.
they are. They're like tan, Mexican, white.
Yeah, so it was my last name, and then when I went to the class, I couldn't talk to anyone because I don't speak Spanish. So when I
How do you go from I don't understand what's going on?
I was just in this class and I'm like, I don't know what anyone's saying. And so I went to my mom and I was like, they have me in this class and no one speaks English. So she went to the school and told them. And then after that, then I went to GATE. So I don't know if they were just like,
Did you take a test?
I don't remember taking a test, but I remember after that I went to GATE and then we got like those bumper stickers and all that stuff. But I don't.
Yeah, because I guess every school had its own way because there wasn't like a standardized test. It wasn't like you took a test and then you got into GATE. It was literally by the district. Some teacher were like, hey, this kid's really smart. Can we put him into GATE? Some parents, pretty sure
I think my mom told them that, hey, she's smart.
Yeah, some parents could argue and be like, yo, I think my kid's smart. You have to put him into GATE, which is, I mean, if you're not smart, it's fucking hard.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's a lot of extra work for someone who isn't smart. I mean, and we're here in the LA County, which LA County was one of the main hubs, the LA US.
They're the main ones.
Yeah, I mean,
no, they can't be because Candace Owens and what's his face, Charlie Kirk were in it. I don't know where they lived.
No, it served over 70,000 students alone.
Yeah.
Which is a fuckload of districts. Which I'm telling you, this is how you find these specific people you're looking for. Do you looking for someone who can speak properly, who's not scared on stage?
So maybe that's how they picked. They did handlers, and then maybe the people that were going to be in front.
I might be fast forwarding like always, but I don't think I got asked to be part of the GATE program, but I do remember the hearing aids test.
They have them in class, so like there's two different ones.
This is the first step along your path to a gateway beyond which is discovery, your own discovery of reality, of truth, of who and what you are. Now a simple preparation. Because of the special audio techniques used, it's important that certain sounds reach your right ear and others your left ear. To be sure of this, you should be hearing my voice in your right ear at this moment.
There are ones where everyone takes the hearing test.
Okay, I took that one, right?
Yeah.
That's the one when you get in the van and but I also think that's how they're, okay, because you know what astral projecting is.
What is astral projection? Your soul leaves the body at night, every night, for about 3 hours. I go into the fifth dimension. I go to various dimensions. I've described the Astral Museum. That's where Bill Gates and Einstein went, and Tesla and everybody else to get futuristic.
So then you sit there and you take this test, and I honestly
take the hearing test.
Huh?
Yeah, you hear.
But you said there's two different ones. There's the hearing test,
ones.
and then there's the other one that.
Yeah,
I
remember taking it, but I don't know if I took the normal one or the one that it was special. But I did drink the pink drink that you're supposed to get. I remember that, and it's chalky.
There's this pink drink in the GATE program, and there's rumored to have been scopolamine in it. Do you know what scopolamine is?
No, what's that?
So scopolamine is a drug. They use it in Haiti sometimes. I forgot how they make it, but it's pretty much makes you very, very suggestive. So a lot of people were doing like witchcraft, and they would like blow scopolamine into someone's face, and they would become basically like a zombie. They would take them from their hotels or whatever all the way to ATMs and get their money out, take them back to their hotel.
They're still doing that more recently too, in places like Mexico, I think, and other places. Yeah.
That's insane, bro. So so they were saying that there was this pink drink in the GATE program. So when they would go there and to go to the GATE meetings and stuff like that, they would have this pink drink, and they think that's why they're getting repressed memories.
I don't know. You're supposed to have like a scar on your forehead. I have that.
A scar.
Yeah, you have that. So I don't know if that's like anything linked. Some people don't have it.
Well, okay. Now to go into depth.
Okay.
Why do you think you got recruited into GATE? Was there something? No, were you good at math? Was there something that you? Because I was about to ask you the same question. Was there any kids in there that you were like, holy shit, this kid he's a whole different level. Like he really should be in this gifted program.
Honestly, which I don't know. I looked it up because I was like, I didn't even know this was a thing. So I thought maybe it was like a scam. Like when you first asked me, like, are you in GATE? I thought it was gonna be like, oh, it turns out that like you're stupid and they made it seem like you're special. But I didn't know it was like a thing. So I didn't pay attention to it when I was in school. But I don't remember anyone that was in it. But the thing that was weird is I blacked out a lot as a kid. So I don't know if that's normal. I looked it up, and I guess like you can have like memory spaces. So like I remember when I went into it in the 4th grade, and when I would do like, I remember one time I was doing like I had to stand up in front of the class and like do like a speech, and I blacked out during it. And then I remember when I woke up, and then I was still giving it, and I don't remember what happened into it. I remember I blacked out when I was doing swimming classes. And they tested me because my dad had a brain tumor, and they would test me to see if I had a brain tumor.
Shit.
Yeah, but I don't know what it is. And then when I looked into this, that happens. Isn't that crazy?
No, that's not.
That one freaks me out.
So the reasoning for GATE, like the reasoning the school said GATE was an actual program and they needed it, was to challenge advanced thinkers. Gifted kids often finished work quickly and got bored in standardized classes. GATE provides depth, critical thinking, creativity, and real-world application to prevent underachievement. Potential long-term winnings. Participant may have seen better academic outcomes, high college success, and kids who had opportunity to think faster and deep digger. Do you really think any of that was literally?
But there's two different things. Like, isn't there people in advanced classes and then there's a GATE program? Those are two different things. Do you know what I'm saying? Like they have classes and courses where like it'll prepare you for like college or like stuff like that, then it's not the same as GATE.
But GATE wasn't in high school. I think GATE was in high school.
Yeah, because that's when I was in GATE in elementary school and junior high, and then I was supposed to go to a different school in high school, but I didn't want to go, so I failed the test that was supposed to.
Deep, homeboy. Aaron, open your mind. Drink from the fountain of knowledge. There's lizard people everywhere. That's some interdimensional shit. Wake up, Aaron.
This is only the beginning.
Dude, you just blew my mind.
Tinfoil hack.